Have you ever asked yourself what actually goes into building a winning culture? What does it actually look like to develop talent? What does it really mean to lead with faith and purpose in today's rapidly changing college baseball landscape? Well, guess what? If you have, you're in the right place. Today, I'm joined by Matt Deggs, head coach of the Louisiana Ragin Cajuns baseball team. And with back to back 40 win seasons, he's running one of the most successful programs you probably aren't hearing enough about. It's an absolute honor to welcome Coach Deggs to the show. Coach, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, Ian, what's up, buddy? Thanks for having me. Merry
Yep.
Christmas to you, and hope everything's going good up there in Cleveland.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Merry Christmas to you too. I appreciate the time. Obviously, right around the holidays, it's the off season, so the players might not be at the field. The players might not be on campus. Man, what is life like for you guys right now, kind of as a staff, the players, coaches? What's life like?
This is truly our one time a year that's kind of some downtime, and you sprint from August 20th or so to through November, and then they hit finals, or you hit Thanksgiving, and then they go into finals, and then it's time to hunt and fish and spend time with the family. And so this is one of the cool times a year for us that we kind of get to chill, catch our breath a little bit, and refuel, if you will, man, because we're going to start spring training January 15th, and then hit the ground running February 14th, and it's a 7 month just sprint, and it's a grind. Uh, and then it's into recruiting and everything else that goes with it. So you got to love it, man. It's not talent, it's passion, and that's what'll motivate you and keep you going.
Love it. So it's always continuously trying to improve, get better a little bit day after day, especially in the off season. But at the helm of a successful program, year after year, you want to be improving. So you guys are hot right now, man. You're coming off of back to back 40 win seasons, heading into 2025. That's incredible, man. How do you plan on building on that success of the last two seasons, and what does 2025 look like? For Raging Cajuns baseball.
Well, you've got to, just back to the original thought that we were talking about a second ago, Ian. I think it's important and it's overlooked and understated that you've got to take some time to smell the roses and get away sometimes and do other things, be it golf, hunting, fishing, especially reconnecting with the family and making sure uh, what I like to call is that you're staying baggage free, and there's not a lot
Mm.
of boxes that go unchecked, and then you're carrying that with you into the season. So I think it's important for guys uh, that are in this bubble, if you will, to take some time, relax, do some other stuff, and refuel and recharge. As for us as a program, we're at a great jumping off point. And we're if you look at it as say you're trying to climb Everest. I mean, we left base camp, 3 years ago, and we've been in three straight regionals and won the league twice. But look, we started. We weren't even at base camp when we started this thing, man. Like I said, I got here. The coach passed away in the summer of 19, and I got here. He's one of my best friends, and the program was down a little bit, and we were all grieving, and COVID hits, and so it's been a long climb just to get to that base camp, and then to get out of there and hit some checkpoints, and to jump off where we're at is a great opportunity to finish this climb, and that finish is to land in Omaha and have a chance to play for a national championship. And we've always, Ian, played a lot bigger than we are, and we're Team David, a David and Goliath fame, man. And so we're underdogs. We've got to overachieve, and we've got to go above and beyond in everything that we do. And I said it a second ago. It's not talent that narrows that gap for us. It's want to and desire and passion and baseball IQ and being able to do the little things, and just having the mindset that we're going to go places that other people won't, man, and knowing that we've done those things and we're prepared. Uh, and then when the rubber meets the road and it's time to go, I think our teams, they enjoy the taste of blood.
I
They
love
enjoy
it.
the throwdown, if you will, and the competition of it. And it's not about the scoreboard. It's just about that scrap and the confrontations that happen. And uh, I know that's a lengthy answer, but that's kind of where we're at as a program. That's the culture. It's a culture of overachievement, and the expectations are high, but it's never about the scoreboard. It's about developing men, developing players, making sure we're on track to graduate and winning championships together. And really and truly, that's the only promise I make. Everything else will be up to you after that. And at the end of the day, more than anything, I want to see a brotherhood forged that'll last a lifetime. Because to me, that's what makes it all worth it. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
What's going on, everybody? We as baseball players, we as athletes, we all have something in common that we all share with one another. At some point, our careers are going to come to an end, whether we play 15 years in the league or whether we don't make it past high school or college. This is called the Money Playbook. So, this teaches financial concepts for student athletes, for professional athletes. It's got a bunch of financial concepts in there that I didn't learn until I was done playing. Go on over to Amazon and check it out. It's called the Money Playbook. It's written by Mark Tepper, who is an NFLPA registered investment advisor. So he has worked with a plethora of professional athletes. Like I said, go to Amazon. We'll leave the link in the bio and the description of this episode. It's a must-have. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Balancing those 1-2s, and also being able to balance and throw in there traveling, baggage free, like you talked about. I know that might be a little bit of an off-season thing, but how are you able to have that taste of blood in your mouth on game day, but also be baggage free during the year, man? How are you able to have that balance? Like, are you able to separate that?
Well, you've got to check boxes, and you've got to dot I's and cross T's, and making sure we call it mastery of the three M's: managing our time, getting organized, mastering our routine, and then making an impact, a positive impact daily. And if I can do those things, then that puts me in a position, Ian, to live above the bar, to live inside our standard of if you're on time, you're late. Okay. We're going to outwork, and we're going to outcompete, and we're going to, we don't hope, we expect. Uh, and then bringing great energy every day. Energy creates energy, and that's our standard, and that's our expectation. And so, uh, if I can do those things, I'm not going to collect a lot of baggage. Now, we're not perfect. We're all going to carry something to the yard every day. But you know what? When you walk out that door and cross through the gate, man, you got to leave it all there. It's time to go, and it's time to play for your boys and get out there, play fast, hard, and loose, and just have a lot of fun doing it.
Amen. Amen. So, Coach, checking you out. Excuse me. There we go. So, Coach, doing a little bit of digging on you, reading your website a little bit, man. Talked about the pack mentality, the pack coaching style. Reading a lot about the pack offense and the success you've had. Man, can you dive into that a little bit? What
Yeah.
is behind that, and what's how do you lead with passion and grit with that pack mentality?
Well, like most creations or inventions, they're born out of necessity, right? And so, uh, Rob Childress and I had just gotten to Texas A&M. I had come from Arkansas. He'd come from University of Nebraska. We were both on top of our game, and took over me as the associate head coach, him as the head coach at Texas A&M, and we got knocked on our butt that first year. And so, uh, I'd never been knocked on my butt like that, neither had he. And I sat around all summer recruiting and whatnot. I'm just chewing on it. And because I'm not a guy you're going to box in, I'm going to figure something out. So I'd always had buy-in through every team I'd ever had, and just didn't get it that year. And literally, dude, I just happened to one night at the house be watching a documentary on a pack of wolves, and the light bulb went off, and that was the aha moment. And I could scratch that itch. And I started studying the wolves, and next to man, they're the most sophisticated animal on earth. And they literally all have a job, duty, or function. There's alpha wolves, beta wolves, caretaker wolves, hunter wolves, scout wolves. They all have a job, duty, or function. And if you don't, you become a lone wolf. And really, in nature, there's no such thing as a lone wolf. Those guys get cut out, and they go off and starve and die. And so I put this buffalo in the middle and surrounded by these wolves, and I asked myself, how do we take this buffalo down to not only survive but to thrive? And the answer is pretty simple. You do it together. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, but the strength of the wolf is the pack. So nothing comes before team. And if we can establish that and then create an identity of standing on these four pillars of attitude, approach, intensity, and toughness, attitude being a supreme confidence in our ability to win in any and every situation we expect to win. That's how we carry ourselves. We're going to win. And then attitude, our approach being my job, duty, or function at any given time within the confines of the pack or the team. So I ask myself one question every day: what can I do today to help us win a championship? So I don't care what that job is. If we don't have water to so we can have drinking water at practice because it's 100 degrees and we need a ditch dug, I'll go dig that ditch so we can get water. It does if it's keeping a chart, if it's hitting in the three hole, if it's laying down a bunt, there's no greater honor than to sacrifice for a brother. So we check our ego, and it's all about just do your job, man. Make the next guy's job easier. And then intensity is a huge one for us. That's our love for the challenge of competition. Intensity in its purest definition means wave after wave after wave after wave. So I can go out to the beach today, I can look out, and the waves ain't ever going to stop, man. They just keep crashing. So you might get him, you might get him, you might get him. Uh-oh, here comes this guy. It's not a result oriented game, it's an opportunity game. And so my mindset as a hitter and the way we've been able to put together great offenses is, you might get me right now, but I'll see you in 30 minutes. And so we don't get bogged down on a result. And then toughness is our biggest pillar, and it's the hardest one to get. And that's my attitude, approach, and intensity in the midst of adversity. uh how is my attitude, how is my approach, how is my intensity when things ain't going my way? Because we got a lot of great dudes, a lot of big time leaders, when things are going good, but I want to know who you are as a man when the adversity hits. See, adversity doesn't make you a man, it reveals where you're at as a man. And so it gives you an opportunity to get up and respond and do something about it. And as a hitter, man, that's all this game is about: responding, adapting, adjusting. Let's go. Let's get back after it. And so inside of the pack, we stand on four pillars, and then we each have a different job, duty, or function depending on the gifts that God gave you, man. So we've got runners, self-explanatory, 6'6" or better, can handle the bat, have the heart to steal bases, and are not afraid of being thrown out or picked off or anything else. They have one job, and that's to create chaos. That's to be a distraction. Then we have hitters, which are our best players. Those are future big league guys. They bring the best blend of speed and strength. They're 6'8" runners or better, have 20 plus double potential, best strength from their fingertips to elbows, can do a little bit of everything. They're run producers. And then we have got bombers. Bombers are just a perception, man. They're a presence. They have the best strength of contact. You know, I tell them swing hard in case they hit it. They're going to challenge the monster every swing, and I hit our bombers in group 2 and 3 of BP because it's a perception. That's when the other team's about to show up, and so they're sitting right there, taking BP, and so I may hit a bomber sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. Uh, but it's a perception, and he's a guy that you've got to be planning for, 2, 3, 4 hitters out. And then ball players, which is what I was. It's what 99% of the guys that play this game at the next level or a higher level probably are. Not the biggest, strongest, fastest, but they're overachievers. They're very adept defenders. They're versatile, and they have the ability to execute at any given time. They're the guys that are going to move runners, hit behind runners, bunt, get hit by pitches, hit and run. I call them cannon fodder, and they know that their at bats are expendable, but they're always contributing through the power of contribution. And so ball players to me are the backbone of our program. And so what we do is we put these parameters around you and tell you who you are, and what we see out of you, and then we teach you, train you. It's just like a garden. We water you, feed you, and grow you up like a tree, man. When Derek Jeter learned his limits, he became limitless. Joe Torre said that about Derek Jeter. And so we put these parameters around you initially to give you an identity of who you are and what the expectation is. I think that is the main problem I see, especially with younger players, is they have no idea who they are and then how to go about their business. If you're 5'10", 150, why are you hitting balls in the top of the cage? That's not your game. And so you've got to have an understanding of who you are. There might be a guy behind you that does need to hit balls in the top of the cage, but he's different. And so that's how we practice. That's how we recruit. The pack has been going for 20 years now, so it transcends not just our team. It's into our recruiting. It's across the country. Guys understand what they're getting into and what they're signing up for, and it's a brotherhood, man. I'm telling you, it's tight. And we just play fast, hard, and loose, and it's all about the confrontation. It's never about the result. Results are temporary, but your commitment, your ability to compete, your ability to play for your boy, that's forever. Nobody's going to remember you hit 350 as a junior. You get
100%.
together 20 years later, the only people that remember that are you and your mama and your daddy. Other than that, they're going to remember their boy. And
Yeah.
so we stay off results, man. Stay on to the scrap and to each other. And I think the biggest essence of the pack, and we could talk about this for 4 hours, Ian, but uh, is the ability to lighten the load for the next guy. I want to set you up. If you're hitting behind me, I gotta set you up, man. And so if that's a first pitch piss rod, that dinged him a little bit. Okay, I don't care if they catch it or not. If it's a 7 pitch ground out to short, but I run a 4-1 down the line and it's bang bang, that dings him a little bit. It's
Yeah.
like a body blow. Uh, and so, obviously it could be a double, it could be anything, but it could be me moving a runner. It could be me hitting behind a runner and setting you up for alpha at bat. Alpha bats are what we call runner at third, lesson two. So those are the layups, but I've got to set you up. And if the guy in front of me didn't make my job easier, then it's up to me to get that momentum back. And I think that's how you stop teams from being contagious. Uh, I don't like hearing hitting's contagious. It should be hitting is about doing your job and being strong enough mentally and physically to stop whatever's going on out there on that mound through how you slam the donut down, and then how you walk to the dish, and then how you get in the box with an approach and some attitude, and you get your work done on time and you're ready to hit and hit with your best bat speed and direction. Man, all of that sends a message, and it can lighten the load. It can keep the momentum on your side, and then ultimately, we want to, I the what we call the flow of the takedown, uh, or the takedown offensively as a pack, and this is what we work towards. And like I was telling you, we recruit, we practice, we take BP, we take early work, we base run, all according to who you are. Ian Miller's got a different skill set than I do. And so you're going to have a different plan on a day-to-day basis than me, but we're all working towards the same goal. And I think that's the beauty of the pack, is in its development and giving you an identity, and then growing you up out of that. And then together we've got pack absolutes and what we call the takedown inside of the plan of attack, is we do whatever it takes to score first. If we don't score first, and it's paramount that we punch back. And so we will do whatever it takes to if it takes moving a runner in the first, we're going to do it. We just want to grab some house money. And once we grab some house money, we can start to shorten the field on you, be it with our legs or with a short game, and start to get the game spinning a little bit. We want to speed that game up on the pitcher, and then once that happens, we can start to bang mistakes. And if we can start doing that, we're going to induce a couple of meetings. You've seen them. You got the coach walking out to the mound, the catcher, or in between innings. We actually had a couple of teams that kept a chart on meetings that they had induced. And then the biggest goal is to get in that bullpen and just make a mess of it. And if we can do that, I like our chances for the series. But you're gonna get got a lot of times, and that's fine. And that's the nature of hitting. It's embracing that, though, and finding a way to get up, adjust. Okay, so we're gonna get up, we're gonna adjust, we're gonna respond, and we're gonna get better from it. And the thing about hitting, dude, is you have to have aptitude. You have to have the ability to make an adjustment, not just on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis. I got to make it pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat, and hit inside of a great approach. And so the pack goes deep, it runs deep. Like I said, we could do this all day, but in essence, that's the pack mentality. And the pack
Awesome.
absolutes center around what we all do the same. So the pack, everybody's got a different job, duty, or function, but the absolutes are what we do the same, from how we wear our uniform to how we get down the line, how we get on and off the field. Uh, how we play the game, all of those things, and those are mandatory. We want you. The cool part about the pack, Ian, is we want you, man. We want your personality. I want that dude. Your arms are tatted up. I want that. I need that personality, because the best thing about a great pack, you're never cookie cutted. I need different dudes that bring different things, man. It's like a Navy SEAL unit, but at the end of the day, we're all inside of that pack. You know what I'm saying? And I think the number one thing you need to play inside of our program and excel is personality. And I love personality. I love guys that aren't afraid to be embarrassed, guys obviously that can laugh at themselves, make fun of themselves, and they're anti-fragile, because we're going to coach you hard and we're going to play hard, but we're going to love you too.
I love that. So much to unpack there, man. It sounds like coach, you'd be the type of dude that I'd love to play for, play with my hair on fire for you, man. So I obviously like back to back to back regionals, man. There's been success as of late. It's there's no wonder why, right? So much goes into this. Obviously, talking about knowing yourself as a player, talking about personalities, how that makes up a unit, makes up the pack, man. I felt like the higher that I went up in my climb, the more I had to silence my personality almost and be quiet in order to fit into the mold of the bench guy, right? The defensive replacement, the late inning dude, the pinch runner. I need to fit that mold. I can't be outspoken. I need to be in the corner, right? The stuff that you're talking about, man, I love it. I love it.
Well, you got to get in where you fit in, and that's a little bit different for you, man. You've got to, win in Rome.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
you were at uh, a different level, but without being you, you'll never reach your potential. I got to be me, man. And okay, well, these are the confines that I need you to be you in. All right, I can embrace that. But if I'm unafraid to be me, if I'm unafraid to be embarrassed, if I'm unafraid to let them laugh, see me laugh, cry, sweat, bleed, compete, fail, get back up, it's total freedom, dude. And when I can do that, with humility and love for others, and it's not about me, then it's freedom. I think, the biggest thing, it doesn't really drive me crazy, but I think it's an issue, because I don't pay a ton of attention to it. Our society, and when I say society, I'm talking about baseball. Our community, we train the individual, and that's what it's all about, man. Watch. It's just about training the individual, lessons at 8 years old, select this, switching. I train the unit. We train the unit. I don't train an individual. I train a unit. I need you to figure out where you fit in inside of that unit.
I love that.
Does that make sense? And when
Absolutely.
I figure out how to play for that unit or that team or that pack, I'm telling you, dude, that's when I play the best ball of my life. Because you know why? It ain't about me.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
I'm playing
free.
for something way bigger than myself. But when all the onus is, hey, man, let's go hit early and let's stay late and let's watch, dude, we don't do none of that stuff. We all going together. We're old school in our approach. Now we will use some new stuff, but as a unit. I'm about the scrap. There's not an instruction manual when that confrontation comes. It's about who's on time and who has the best approach and who's the hungriest, right?
Yeah.
And so nobody believed me, but we'll lead the league, or we've led the country a couple of times in hitting or offense. And you know how many times I watched video last year? Zero. I
Really?
watched video 0 times last year with a player. Now I know that sounds crazy. I use these things, man. Use your heart, use your mind, use your eyes. I don't need a crutch. I just need to be on time and have a great approach. I'm not here because I suck. I'm here because I'm already good. Why complicate that? Let's go, man.
Oh,
Let's go.
I
Why
love
did
that,
Mike
man.
Tyson walk out? The greatest thing I've ever seen, I went to a Tyson fight. Me, Tom Pagnozzi, Dave Van Horn, I was at Arkansas. We went to a Tyson fight in Memphis. Tyson walks out. He didn't have a robe. He's got a cutout towel around his head. He had nothing but what was about to happen, right?
About
It's
what?
like the bullfighter or the bull, you know. The bullfighter stayed in a 5-star hotel last night. The bull stayed in a stall.
Yeah,
Tell me who's about to get what. You don't need all that stuff. What you need is copious amounts of throwdown and attitude, that expectation to win. Okay, now if I need to go back and see a little something, all right, we might be able to do that. But until you understand what's what, why mess with what's working, man?
amen. Yeah, that makes sense. No reason to change it up. Keep it simple, right? I mean, it's
No
dude, it's
reason.
hard. It's hard enough playing baseball as it is. It's hard enough hitting. Imagine how hard it is to hit 300, 350.
Oh,
So so you had recruited, right? What you had recruited Hunter Pence back in the day, right? You see how that guy swings. His mechanics are different. His body is different. I was fortunate enough to share a field with that man, and he's a freak athlete. But like
he's a
that guy
freak.
has an approach. He's on time and he was able to hit. All mechanics look different, right? I love everything you're talking about, man.
And he's the nastiest guy I've ever coached, man. That guy loved to compete. And what people miss kind of on Hunter too, and you saw it when you're on the field, he's physical. He's a physical freak.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, dude's huge, way bigger than he looks on TV.
Right?
He's an animal. He's an animal, man.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And he's a borderline Hall of Famer, man. He got 15 years in, 3 World Series, 2 or 3 All-Star games. I mean, but you want to talk about want to? Wow. Whew.
I love that, man. That set the table right there. So we talking a little bit about player development, talking about success, talking about the standards of the program. The game, the landscape of college baseball has undergone some changes as of late. There are some changes still moving forward. We're talking about transfer portals, NIL monies. We're talking about players getting paid. We're talking about roster rules, all this stuff, man. In your opinion, how has like the transfer portal impacted your ability to retain and recruit top tier talent? Has it been a threat or has it been an opportunity to the program?
Well, it's been pretty cool, honestly, and to see the commitment level and the brotherhood of this program. There's no place like Louisiana, man, and being a Ragin Cajun is just it's different. It's magical, and the city's magical, and the fan base is they're just unparalleled. Cajun Nation's crazy, dude. Uh,
I
I always
love
say
that.
they spill more beer by 9 a.m. than most people drink all day. Uh, then they love their Cajuns. But in this transfer portal era, we've kept every kid. We haven't lost anybody that we weren't expecting to. So Carson Rockefort was a second rounder. He turned down. The crazy part about the transfer portal is all the tampering and stuff that goes on behind the scenes, which is just it kind of sickens my stomach because. Uh, Me personally in our program, we're just not people and men that would ever do that. We don't
like
have
like
to.
recruiting early, like
Yeah,
talking to
like
people early.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, guys that are already in through you know secondhand sources or whatever it might
Yeah,
be.
outside of the
Yeah,
rules and
correct. And it's dirty and won't ever do it, man. I won't do that and don't have to do it. I'm too confident in what we do.
it's awesome.
And you're either all in or all out with us, and that's the way the pack rolls. And so we've kept Carson Rockefort. He was a second rounder. We kept Kyle DeBarge. He was a first rounder. Kept uh, Chase Morgan. He was an freshman All American. He'll be a first, second rounder. And we've kept, LP Langevin was a fourth rounder. Julian Brock we kept. He's a seventh rounder. We've had we've had close to $5 million come out of here in signings in the last 3 years, and so our development is through the roof, but so is our loyalty and our commitment. And there's something to be said for that. And I think at the end of the day, the professionals, the guys way above me, that get paid to sign these kids and coach them, and I think they there's a part of them that likes seeing kids stay loyal to where they're at, and they want to be the underdog here, and they want to be giant killers. And I'm not foolish enough to think though that we're not going to lose somebody, because we are. And it has affected our ability to sign guys. But that's fine. And like I said, you're not going to box us in. We'll go young, which we have. Our last two classes are all high school kids. That's fine, and we'll develop them. We'll get them in our system, and hopefully that brotherhood latches a hold of them, and they don't want to leave, and they get developed, and they become hell on wheels, man, for 3 years together, 4 years together. And that's the way we got to do it, because we don't have a ton of the NIL, and I don't pay guys to come here. I haven't done that. And so what we do is I call it a reward system, and we use our NIL that way. And so everybody that comes in the clubhouse has the opportunity to earn that stuff, and because I'm all about earning it. And I want to be able to teach these kids, if these are the rules, that's fine. I'm not going to complain about them. I want to try to find a solution to them. So we're going to use them to teach them, to grow them, and let the current climate prepare them for life in baseball and life after baseball. And so uh, I think a big factor in our success moving forward is going to be the roster limitations. Going to 34 can only help us. And what I mean by that, because you can get a Power Five school that brings in 50, uh, and so if the roster limit was 40, those 10 extras could have come, they might have been a blue chipper for us, right? And so now when you pare that thing down to 34, then that's going to be every program's best 34. And it's going to make college baseball better than it's ever been. It's also going to be harder to get to this level. But that's baseball, man. That's baseball. It's not an easy game. You know that as well as most, man. It's dog eat dog, and the strong are going to survive in this game. And generally, dude, it's the guys that know how to adjust, and it's the guys that know how to dot their I's and cross their T's. They're doing things right on the field and off the field, because there's just not that many Barry Bonds walking around, or Roger Clemens. They're just not. And so you
I
reach
love
that
it.
level where the talent kind of levels off, and now something's got to separate you. And so it's got to be taking care of your business, and working your butt off and being a great teammate.
Big time. Big time. Coach, I love that. Again, we're here with Matt Deggs. Grateful for your time, Coach. I appreciate you. One more question for you, man. Extremely grateful for the time. So, um, everything's been going good. You guys are nasty, okay? Right? We introed here talking about we don't hear enough about your program, at least in my opinion, man. You guys have been absolutely killing it, like we've talked about, back to back to back regionals, back to back 40 win seasons. So, what is the ultimate vision for the Ragin Cajuns baseball team under your leadership, under your guidance, man? And what does success look like, in a 5-year window, kind of looking out over the horizon of the program?
Well, our vision and that never changes. It's top 25, 40 plus in the regular season. And when I say top 25, it's in the rankings and RPI. 40 plus wins in the regular season, conference championship, tournament championship, hosting a regional, getting through that regional, getting to a super regional, and then having the opportunity to play for a national championship in Omaha. And I'll either die or retire chasing that. And that's just who I am as a person, and I think that's why our team succeed, is because we just outlast people. And that's who we are, man. We just outlast you. And like I said, it's not about talent or anything else. It's just about desire and want to and passion. uh what does success look like for me? Success is, you know I think the things that make me most proud are when people come up and go, dang, y'all are fun to watch, man. Or, gosh, dog, I've seen a lot of teams this year. Y'all play hard, dude. You can tell your guys play for each other. Like, that to me is success. And then watching these guys, I think my number one mission right now, Ian, I don't think it, I know it. Just in the climate of where we've been as a society and everything else, is just turning out full grown men back out that clubhouse door that are ready to go be great husbands, fathers, professionals, business owners, whatever it might be. But they're going to go out there and stand for something and stand for what's right.
I love that. I love that, Coach. I appreciate you elaborating on that stuff, talking about your program, talking about kind of, where you came from to get to this point. Grateful for your expertise, your ideas, the answers to the questions, man. We are looking forward to the continued success moving forward in 2025. Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ian, and Merry Christmas, buddy.
Yes, sir. Likewise to you. Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of the Nine Hole Podcast. We will catch you guys again soon. Take care.